Greetings and welcome to another episode of A Pantheistic View. In this episode, I would like to speak to you on the subject, the divine resonance. In this discussion, we will be talking about sort of a comparison between a religion created by men and a spirituality embedded in nature. Do you know that there is something within us that listens even when no one is speaking? It's not that the ear that hears it. It's not our minds that construct it. It is something deeper, quieter, older. It is a subtle awareness, a silent recognition. It's called resonance. It is this resonance that has driven humanity across ages and civilizations to seek that what we have come to call God. And yet, in that search, two distinct paths emerged. One was built by men, the other was found. Religion, in its many forms, is among humanity's most ambitious creations. It is the attempt to give shape to the infinite, to translate mystery into meaning, and to render the unseen into something that can be taught, preserved, and passed on. It constructs language around the divine. It organizes beliefs into systems. It establishes authority to safeguard its truths. In doing so, religion offers clarity, identity, and belonging. It provides answers to life's deepest questions and, for many, a sense of moral direction and existential comfort. But in its effort to define the divine, it also does something more subtle and perhaps more consequential. It draws boundaries. It tells us where God is, and just as importantly, where God is not. It distinguishes truth from error, belief from unbelief, the sacred from profane. And over time, these distinctions harden not merely into ideas, but into convictions that resist questioning. Thus, what begins as a search for the infinite can become a system that confines it. For once the divine is fully defined, it risks being reduced. Once it is reduced, it risks being controlled. And once controlled, it may no longer be encountered, only described. And yet, beyond the walls of doctrine and the pages of sacred texts, another path quietly remains: spiritual resonance or divine resonance. It requires no institution, it demands no allegiance, it offers no prescribed creed. Simply, it is. Step outside, and it reveals itself in the steady unfolding of dawn, in the silent architecture of mountains, in the unbroken rhythm of waves meeting the shore. There is no sermon in the sky, and yet it speaks. No commandment in the wind, and yet it moves with purpose. Nature does not argue for the existence of the divine. It just expresses it through order, through consistency, through an intelligence that does not explain itself, yet it sustains everything. This is not a God that must be believed in. It is a reality that can be experienced. Perhaps the tension between religion and natural spirituality arises from a simple but profound divergence. Religion asks us to accept. Nature invites us to observe. Religion often begins with conclusions. Nature begins with presence. Religion speaks in declaration. Nature, spirituality, speaks in patterns. And in those patterns, repeated, reliable, universal, something extraordinary becomes visible. Not a distant ruler issuing decrees, but an immanent force unfolding as process. Not a being separate from creation, but a presence expressed through creation. A divine not imposed upon reality, but embedded within within it. If this is so, then perhaps what we have long called the Word of God was never meant to be confined to language. Perhaps it was written, not in ink, but in existence, in the laws that govern motion and energy, in the delicate balance that sustains life, in the unfolding story of the cosmos itself. It is a text without pages, a message without words, without human words, a revelation that does not end. And yet, it is a revelation we have often overlooked, not because it is hidden, but because it is everywhere. And there is a cost to this overlooking. When the divine is sought only within constructed systems, it becomes increasingly external, something to be approached, mediated, or interpreted by others. The individual experience of the sacred begins to diminish. Faith becomes adherence, spirituality becomes structure, and inquiry, once the engine of discovery, becomes a threat to stability. In such a landscape, doubt is discouraged. Certainty is rewarded, but certainty, when unexamined, can become a barrier rather than a bridge. For truth does not require protection, only interpretations require protection. And so the question emerges, not as an accusation, but as an invitation. What if the divine has never been absent, only misplaced, unrecognized? What if the search itself has been directed toward the wrong medium? Not toward something false, but toward something incomplete. For while religion may point toward the divine, it is not the divine itself. Its religion is just a map, and no map, however detailed, can replace the terrain it represents. To discover this terrain is not to reject religion outright, but to see it in proper proportion. It is to recognize that all human descriptions of the divine are, at best, approximations, attempts to articulate what ultimately transcends articulation. And in that recognition, something shifts. The need to defend belief gives way to freedom to explore. The fear of being wrong gives way to encourage to observe. The obligation to conform gives way to the invitation to awaken. It is here that the idea of divine resonance takes its full meaning. Resonance is not imposed, it is recognized. It occurs when something within us responds naturally, effortlessly to something beyond us. A truth is not forced upon the mind, it is felt as alignment. A reality is not proven through argument, it is confirmed through coherence. In this sense, spirituality is not about acquiring new beliefs, it is about tuning, refining perception until one begins to sense the harmony that has always been beside us, that has always been present within us. To live in resonance with the divine is not to withdraw from the world, but to engage the world more fully. To see nature as a backdrop, not as a backdrop, but a revelation. To encounter existence not as random, but as meaningful. To recognize oneself not as separate from the whole, but as an expression of it, part of the whole. This is not a call to abandon reason, but to deepen it. Not a rejection of knowledge, but an expansion of understanding. For the more we observe, the more we uncover patterns. The more we uncover patterns, the more we perceive order. And the more we perceive order, the more the question of the divine becomes not less relevant, but more profound. And so we arrive not at a conclusion, but at a threshold between religion created by men and a spirituality embedded in nature, between belief and awareness, between description and experience. Which one is the better? A religion created by men or a spirituality embedded in nature? Essentially, we're saying a spirituality created by God himself. What again is divine resonance? It is a divine presence embedded in everything. It does not fear inquiry, it does not fear questions, it does not require defense. It simply invites discovery. And perhaps in the quiet moments, beyond doctrine, beyond debate, beyond inherited certainty, you may begin to sense it, not as a voice commanding belief, but as a presence calling for alignment, a steady, unbroken signal woven into the fabric of existence, waiting not to be proven, but to be heard. What is a resonance or divine resonance? Spiritual or divine resonance is important because it shifts the center of faith from external authority to inner alignment. It is the quiet confirmation that truth is not merely something we are told, but something we recognize deep within when our awareness comes into harmony with reality itself. In a world filled with competing doctrines and inherited belief, spiritual resonance becomes a kind of compass, guiding us not by fear or obligation, but by clarity and coherence. It allows us to discern what is life-giving from what is imposed, what is authentic from what is constructed. Without resonance, spirituality can become mechanical, reduced to rituals and repetition. But with it, even the simplest moment, a sunrise, a silence, a smile, a sincere reflection becomes a living encounter with the divine. In this way, spiritual resonance is not just an experience. It is the very foundation of spirituality that is both deeply personal and universally accessible. Finally, I'd like to say this. Divine resonance is the inner experience of alignment between one's deepest awareness and the underlying truth woven into reality. It is not imposed from the outside, nor constructed by belief systems. It is recognized from within, a quiet but unmistakable sense of rightness. In relation to intuition, divine resonance can be understood as inner agreement. That moment when a thought, an insight, a perception does not merely make sense intellectually, but settles within you, within us. It feels coherent, clear, and undisturbed by inner conflict. It is the difference between something you are trying to convince yourself of and something that simply rings true. This inner agreement is not impulsive emotion or fleeting feeling. Rather, it is a deeper form of knowing, an intuitive clarity that arises when the mind, the heart, and one's own awareness come into harmony. It does not shout or demand, it affirms quietly. In this sense, divine resonance acts as an internal compass. When you are in alignment with it, there is a sense of peace, even uncertainty, direction, even without complete answers. When you are out of alignment, there is friction, doubt, tension, or a subtle resistance within. To live in divine resonance, then, is to cultivate sensitivity to this inner agreement, to trust the intuition that does not arise from fear, conditioning, or external pressure, but from a deeper connection to the order, intelligence, and flow embedded in existence itself. Resonance, a simple word, but deep in meaning. Make it as your guide. Make it as your measure of truth or error. It is the witness within you that tells you if something is true or not. Between that inner voice that speaks to the heart, that conforms to your sense of truth, and something that is exerted to you from the outside, the better guide is that something that resonates with you, with your heart, with your mind, and may I say, with your soul. Divine resonance. Think about it, meditate about it, and find divine, eternal treasures when you exercise it. Again, thank you for being with me. If you have been encouraged, enlightened by this episode and our other episodes, favor please click that subscribe button, like, and follow so that as soon as we have another episode upload, you can have it immediately. Until next time, God bless. Have a nice day.